lot of toppings there. So.
All right, so what is it about your pizza? Because, as I said earlier, y'all won 3rd place one year, 2nd place this year.
Yes.
Why are you getting such good pizza reviews?
Well, I mean, we have been doing this for quite a while. Our original location in Roberts has been there since 1996. So, I mean, we've had a lot of years to really work with the perfection of their pizza. I will say we use very quality ingredients. We use great meats, and we chop all of our vegetables in-house, and they're just, they're fantastic.
This is wonderful. This is the deluxe, but you can just kind of get it. You can just get pizza any way you want it to.
Yes, absolutely. You can create your own. We do have a specialty pizza of like our buffalo chicken pizza, our all meat, veggies. So you can get it the way you want it. You know, we sell a lot of pepperoni and cheese pizzas for the kids and things like that. But really, our crust is fantastic. I love the way our dough crisps up at the bottom. It's just a really nice, and then we bring all of our toppings out to the edge so that you're not being skimped on any of your cheese or toppings.
This rarely happens when I'm doing a Tasty Tuesday segment like this, and I'll take a couple of bites. It rarely happens where I actually finish what I'm eating.
Well, there's more to go.
An award-winning pizza, I can see, oh, I left some stuff on my plate, Christy.
Yeah.
We can't be doing that.
And that happens a lot with all of those toppings. You're you might make a little bit of a mess, but it's a good mess.
And I love looking outside and seeing the splash park, the river, very bright in here. Just a couple seconds left, but football's coming.
Football is coming, yes.
And you got a lot of screens in here.
Yeah, we do. We have 13 TVs.
Oh, okay, I was going to have to count them. So.
And we do, you know, we're open on Sundays all day, so we have a lot of Sunday activities. And then once UK basketball starts, it's just all good.
All right, it is Rockhouse on the River. It is in downtown Henderson. I cleaned my plate with some award-winning pizza.
It's great to see. By the way, one more edition of Joe's Tasty Tuesday coming up on Daybreak Extra less than an hour from now here on the CW7. Coming up in just a couple minutes, it's Ron's Weather Authority forecast as the sun shines down on downtown Evansville and the Bend in the Ohio River.
Get the highest rated local weather app from the App Store today. Now, from your weather authority, meteorologist Ron Rhodes.
We've got ourselves in matter of minutes now, mind you, it is going to be autumn, the first second of fall, but that's not until 8:31. Right now it's 7:49, but even before the autumnal equinox, this broom is standing by itself. Of course, some dude came up to me during July and goes, "Hey Ron, check this out. It's not the equinox." There you go. I think you can do this any time of the year, but we're having fun with it today, aren't we? All right, there's Emer Funeral Home camera. It's downtown. The sun is splashing the buildings, and I love what I see. What a beautiful sunrise it was this morning. If you missed it, that's okay. I've got pictures, and I will show them to you. And now let's take a look at what's going on. From Deaconess Gateway, the traffic is flowing. That's good going on 69 and the Lloyd Expressway. The wind's not flowing much. It's a calm wind out there, and that flag just off the Lloyd Expressway is just hanging. That's all it's doing. It's not fluttering. All right, now the final stop. Look at all the traffic on 41. Northbound, southbound, it's moving. That's a good thing, and that is our Heads Construction camera in the back, and we've got temperatures farther north of 41 at the airport at 53 degrees. So it is now up another degree this hour. We've got a dew point of 50. The wind is currently calm. Wind is not going to be a big deal today. It's going to be mainly from the east this morning, mainly from the south this afternoon, but it's going to vary a bit in direction, but not very much in speed. I mean, it's going to be right around 5 miles an hour. I mean, we might see it a little bit higher than that, but 5 to 10 is what I'm calling it, but a lot closer to 5 than 10. Temperature-wise, can we do a little run? How low can we go? 48 degrees in Jasper is as low as I see. 49 degrees, and that's where the run stops right there. Look at all the 50s now. I mean, we're all moving up into the 50s. 50 in Santa Claus, 51 in Owensboro, 51 Calhoun, 50 in Morganfield, 50 in Carmi, 50 in Dixon. A lot of 50s on the board, that's for sure. Visibility, still a little bit of fog between Carmi and Morganfield, although Morganfield not looking too bad right now, but showing a little bit of fog there in Union and Henderson County, and you got a little pocket there, looks like right along the Wabash. Carmi's improved up to 3-mile visibility. Here's one of those sunrises I was promising you. That's a beauty of a shot there from Tell City. And I love this shot because of the trees. I love the silhouettes up against that beautiful sky. Love the fog that was out there too. And Tell City had near zero visibility at one point. The fog looks like it was lifting a little bit, or at least dispersing somewhat, when Lisa Ball took that great shot. Thank you, Lisa, for sending that picture my way. Here's another cool looking shot as I step aside so you can see it. That is from Ellis Park this morning. Renee O'Brien getting the goods on that shot with some high, thin clouds, and of course that good burst of gold. And if you look closely, you can see a little bit of fog right there on the track. Lovely shot there, Renee from Ellis Park. Thank you so much. Live first morning Doppler radar. It's a quiet run, and it has been for most of the month. Not so quiet on the region. Remember yesterday we were talking St. Louis, sunshine, no problem there. Well, now they're getting some cloud cover. Nashville, sunshine, no problem there. Now they're getting some cloud cover too. And if you're traveling farther to the west, you're going to run across some rain in Arkansas and Oklahoma. But Indy's looking pretty decent. So is Lexington and Cincinnati. But certainly a few more clouds in play today than what we've seen over the past several days. And we've had a beautiful run of weather. We can't complain. Fall really creeped in a little earlier. I mean, I know we're talking about fall beginning at 8:31, but it began this weekend. When that temperature dipped down below 50 degrees, and I woke up on Saturday morning and it's in the 40s, I knew fall was here. It just jumped the gun a little bit. As we take a look at our storm tracker, this is Tropical Storm Beta. What's left of it, it's still a minor, it's a minimal, I should say, tropical storm, packing 40-mile-per-hour winds. So it's weakened as expected as it moved over South Texas. It's going to work its way to the northeast, cut across the Houston area, and work its way toward Louisiana. It's going to take a couple of days to do that. So it's going to be a fairly prolific rainmaker just because it's not going to make a lot of progress, and it's going to kind of turn on Houston. So Houston's probably going to get about the most of it as far as the rain is concerned. It will pick up its pace just a little bit, but really not so much until Thursday as it kind of drags its way through Louisiana. Here we are at 1 o'clock on Thursday. It's weakened to the point where it's just basically an extra tropical low as it moves into the Jackson area, heads on up toward Nashville. That's 1 o'clock on Friday morning. And it's going to keep working its way to the northeast, the remnants, and it's going to kick up some clouds and some rain our way. We've got a decent chance of rain, it looks like, on Sunday. No rain today, though. High temperature is going to be in the mid-70s with that mix of sunshine and clouds. My 7-day forecast is next.
This is an Eyewitness News Update.
Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us for this Eyewitness News Update on ABC 25 and the CW7 here at 7:56. Headlines for you. Trial is now underway for an Evansville man accused of killing his infant son. The first day of that trial started with jury selection. It was actually seated on Monday now to hear the case of Jacob Bingert beginning this morning. He's charged with the murder of his son in January. Evansville police were called to this home on East Illinois Street around that time for an unresponsive infant. The coroner's office says Kieran Bingert suffered massive blunt force trauma right before his death. Jacob Bingert was arrested after a 24-hour manhunt. His trial resumes this morning. The baby's mother, Chelsea Marksberry, was charged with neglect of a dependent resulting in death. Her trial is set for now October 26th, a few weeks from now.
A separate incident in Owensboro. A man is accused of stabbing a police officer in the neck. We now know that officer's name to tell you this morning. Police were sent to a home near Walnut and West 7th Streets for a disturbance call just after 4 o'clock. This was on Sunday afternoon. Officers say they were trying to arrest 31-year-old Harold Sanders on a warrant. And they say Sanders pulled out a knife and stabbed Officer Austin Esther in the neck. Officer Esther was treated at a nearby hospital and has since been released to recover at home. Sanders is charged with attempted murder of a police officer.
It's 3 minutes until 8 o'clock, 7:57 on this almost first day of fall. It's not fall until 8:31 officially here, Central Time. As we look at our Zemer Funeral Home camera, plenty of sunshine out there, but we're going to see a few more clouds in play today. Temperature up 4 degrees. It's now 57 degrees in Evansville, 55 in Owensboro, 53 Jasper, and 50 degrees in Carmine. Visibility-wise, you can see a little bit of fog still out there in spots, but for the most part, we're doing okay. And as far as the temperature goes, high is going to be in the mid-70s today, staying dry with a mix of sun and clouds, and then we are going to be seeing temperatures warm up, slight chance of rain on Thursday.
All right, thanks for watching us in this update. We've got more on the CW7 our next hour.
Get the highest rated weather app and news on the go with our Your Weather Authority and Tri-State on the Go apps. The most watched, the most trusted. Eyewitness News, everywhere you are. Time now for your forecast first on Eyewitness News, the CW7.
It is 1 minute after 8 o'clock, 30 minutes from the autumnal equinox. So the last minutes of summer here as we take a look at the traffic down on Highway 41. We've got the sunshine out there mixed in with a few clouds. Got a few high clouds out there especially. We saw a sundog earlier today and a beautiful sunrise. Hopefully you caught it. If not, I can show you pictures. 57 degrees right now, 73 at noon and a high in the mid-70s later on today. I'll be back to tell you more about what's in store for the rest of the week. The first week, or at least the first few days of autumn, coming up in a few minutes.
Live from the CW7 studio, this is Daybreak Extra.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on Eyewitness News Daybreak Extra. We hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your Tuesday. I'm Jake Boswell. He's Joe Bird. How's it going, Joe?
So far, so good.
It's good news.
So was my lunch. That was so good, too.
Well, I was going to say it's probably good because you were talking about the gas prices earlier.
Yeah.
I've seen some in Kentucky that are in the low 160s over the last week or so.
Gary McIntyre, you know, one of our Daybreak fans there, he sent me two pictures from, I think it was a marathon yesterday in Owensboro. I believe it was like $1.68. But the Henderson Strip dropped 19 cents since yesterday.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. I mean, so did the Dow dropped over 700 points yesterday in the stock market, too. So I don't know if that's related or not. I do have a question for you, though, of how I should feel about this. So you know how some companies are giving some of your money back from the premium you pay, like say maybe a car insurance company or things like that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, which is fantastic. It's really cool they're doing that to help people out at a time when maybe folks need it. I got a check in the mail from one of those groups for under $5.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so it was really cool to see the check. Then when I saw the amount, and there's some change, should I go to the bank and cash that? It will. The price of gas to go out of my way to get it will, you know.
Mine was like $6 and something.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool,
deposit.
but how do you feel about that?
Hey, you know what? It gets me a couple gallons of gas, right?
That's right, picking up the pennies off the ground. I'll do that too. So we're happy to start off the day Tuesday-wise with some fun. We've also got some news to tell you about details. First of all, in a carjacking that's taken place in Evansville just a few hours ago, police are asking for information right now.
Also ahead, new research is suggesting anxiety and depression are rising among Americans amid the coronavirus pandemic. I can understand why.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And election season is also stressing people out. We know that. And some advice from a doctor and best-selling author on how to make it through November 3rd with your sanity intact. Here's Gretchen with those headlines.
All right, thank you, and good morning, everyone. We're going to start this Tuesday in Evansville, where police are investigating an overnight carjacking. Officers say it happened just after 2 this morning. And they tell us the victim was at the marathon on Southeast 8th Street when she was approached by a man with a gun who then took off in her car. We're told the victim was not hurt. So far, police have not been able to track down the car or the suspect. Anyone who might have witnessed the incident is asked to contact police. We will continue watching for updates on this throughout the morning for you. And continuing coverage now of yesterday's fiery crash in Evansville that killed 3 people. Autopsies are scheduled for this afternoon. And this was the scene at Highway 41 and Covert Avenue yesterday. Evansville police say a pickup truck driving very fast crashed into the back of an SUV, which was either stopped or slowed for traffic. The impact sent the SUV into another vehicle in front of it. The SUV and the pickup then both caught on fire. You can see it from the video there. Witnesses were able to rescue the truck driver, but the flames are too intense to help those in the SUV. The victims' names have not yet been identified. The truck driver is expected to survive. And Highway 41 in Indiana has been named one of the most deadly roads in America by Geotab. It's a driving data company. And according to their research, 41 sees an average of 10 fatal crashes every year. Kentucky's deadliest road is US 62, which runs east to west across the state, including in Hopkins and Muhlenberg counties. Illinois has a deadly road, which is the most deadly is US 45, which is running north to south. More than 30,000 people are killed in crashes across the United States. And Eyewitness News on the scene of another wreck. This is just after 8 o'clock last night. This happened in the 700th block of South Governor in Evansville. We're told 1 person was hurt and at least 2 cars were involved. And a follow-up now to an incident we told you about yesterday on Daybreak Extra. A teacher at Plaza Park International Prep Academy in Evansville is expected to be okay after being hit by a truck Monday morning. The teacher was wearing a neon vest, helping direct during the busy drop-off time. Police say that's when a driver hit the teacher. The driver was not given a ticket. EVSC officials tell us this time of year it's especially important to slow down when you see flashing yellow lights, keeping kids, teachers, and parents safe. New research is suggesting anxiety and depression are rising among Americans amid the coronavirus pandemic. For some people, it stems from lost loved ones and the financial distress and social isolation the outbreak has caused. Eyewitness News' Paul Tubbs with a closer look now.
Social distancing, online learning, reduced presence of people out in public, all those may seem like an introvert's dream. As far as mental health is concerned,
it is a re-envisioning of your day-to-day practices, how you socialize, how you do your job.
Just a few weeks back, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott publicly announcing his bout with depression over the course of this pandemic.
It creates new emotions that I've never felt before, but obviously dealt with, and I obviously got the help that I needed and was very open about it.
The numbers at face value can seem rather stark. According to the Centers for Disease Control, June's numbers, 40.9% of adults say they've had at least one mental health effect, including symptoms of anxiety or depression.
Try to be as present-minded as possible. Like, what do I need right now? What is good right now? So I think about what are the things I'm grateful for right this second? What are the things that are good in my life right this second? And then concentrate on those and feel that gratitude for those things in your life. We know that gratitude decreases anxiety. This is scientifically proven over and over and over and over. Gratitude decreases anxiety. But then look at, okay, what's not okay for me right now? Am I feeling too isolated? Am I not exercising enough? Like, what am I doing that is not okay with me right now? And then what are some concrete steps that I can take to change this for right now? Mental health distress happens to 100% of humans on the planet, and we call it weakness instead of just part of the human condition and something that we need to talk about and help ourselves learn how to cope with and move through, and what additional things will help keep us healthier, and really change that conversation about it's normal to have mental health distress. Let's talk about how to have mental health.
And a trial is underway for an Evansville man accused of killing his infant son. The jury was seated Monday to hear the case of Jacob Bengert. Now, he's charged with the murder of his son from back in January. Evansville police were called to a home on East Illinois Street for an unresponsive infant. The coroner's office says Kieran Bengert suffered massive blunt force trauma right before his death. Jacob Bengert was arrested after a 24-hour manhunt. The trial resumes this morning. The baby's mother, Chelsea Marksberry, was charged with neglect of a dependent resulting in death. Her trial is set for October 26th. Kentucky State Police have identified the man who took his own life Sunday morning during a confrontation with city police. KSP says OPD officer Michael Matthews fired shots just after 39-year-old Ray Payne shot himself. Officer Matthews has been with the department for 11 years. State police say video from a police cruiser's dash cam shows the details. They have not released that video yet. Officer Matthews is on paid administrative leave. And in a separate incident in Owensboro, a man is accused of stabbing a police officer in the neck, and we now know that officer's name. Police were sent to a home near Walnut and West 7th Streets for a disturbance call just after 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Officers say they were trying to arrest 31-year-old Harold Sanders on a warrant when they say Sanders pulled out a knife and stabbed Officer Austin Esther in the neck. Officer Esther was treated at a hospital and has since been released to recover at home. Sanders is charged with attempted murder of a police officer. And from your local election headquarters now, the voter registration website at the Illinois State Board of Elections crashed on Monday. It was back up about an hour after it went down. Spokesperson says this was not related to a cyber attack. The website was experiencing a surge of traffic with roughly 3 times the number of visitors than it usually has this close to a big election. And is this election cycle stressing you out? Doctors say you're not alone. If it is, election stress is real, and it can affect you and your physical and mental well-being. 47% of workers say the 2020 election has them distracted from doing their jobs. 38% say they avoid talking to their coworkers because of their political views. Last night here on Eyewitness News, we spoke with doctor and best-selling author Jason West about surviving the next 6 weeks leading up to November 3rd.
Well, it's kind of like when the oil light comes on your car and you're driving, you're looking at it, you know that something's going to happen if you don't do some maintenance. And that's when people are saying, look, my emotions are right here on the edge. I'm going to blow over. That's when it's time to have a stress outlet. It'll make everything in your life better.
Now, to watch and view and listen to that full interview right now, you know where to go. Our website, of course, tristatehomepage.com.
Yeah, the political stuff can be stressful. I will say that. The thing that can always bring people together, though, is food. And this time yesterday, we were talking about food and eating and weight gain. We actually had a viewer reach out, and I assumed, initially it kind of read as if it was going to be advice for us maybe to lose weight. Instead, it was kind of just shaming us for gaining weight. So
it happened.
Yeah, just telling us if you keep eating all the stuff you guys eat on TV, you're bound to gain weight. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it's just, we can't help it. It's too good.
My best friend, when I moved to Daybreak 6 years ago, I guess it was, my best friend who used to work mornings a little bit, he goes, you're going to gain weight. It's just going to happen on that shift. I'm like, are you crazy? Here I am, X amount of pounds later.
Nothing to eat or nothing to do but eat. We've got more news, by the way. Stick around for that next.
Daybreak Extra continues.
Welcome back this morning. Indiana Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch has made a stop in Evansville on Monday to tour the new Bethel Manor Rehabilitation Cottage. The new building was designed to feel more like a home, not a rehab facility. There's private guest rooms, a therapy gym, and lots of outdoor space. We're told the new building is about 8,000 square feet of living space, and the Lieutenant Governor was the first open house guest.
I am really impressed by the forward thinking and the progressiveness of the individuals that came up with this concept, with Josh, who came up with this concept, because they know that when people are in times of trauma and they are recovering, that they want to feel like they are at home.
Now, the facility opens coming up on October 1st, not too long from now. And another rally against the Mid-States Corridor project is set for this Saturday. It's scheduled to be held from 10 until noon at the Jasper Courthouse Square. Organizers are using this as a way to voice their opposition to the project, which would connect State Road 66 to I-69. Several speakers are expected to attend, people asking to wear face masks and practice social distancing during this protest. Now, currently, the petition to prevent the project has more than 3,000 signatures. We've got more information on our website, tristatehomepage.com. And also a new group is now formed in response to plans that could terminate faculty members and cut millions of dollars from academic programs at the University of Evansville. A group of UE faculty has joined the American Association of University Professors and launched a campaign called Save UE. Faculty members say this is in response to UE's administration intending to cut funds with no involvement from faculty. What will be cut is still being determined, but we're told they will be made by the end of this semester. And across the county for the 5th straight year, the University of Southern Indiana says it's now set a record for graduate enrollment. USI says now there are more than 1,700 students enrolled in master's and doctoral programs for the fall 2020 semester. Graduate enrollment has now risen more than 21% over the past 2 years. Total fall enrollment is just over 10,200 students. And Newburgh's Lou Dennis Community Park is now closed. Officials say it's for the safety of park users, and renovations are continuing there. The old pool has already been demolished and filled in. There are plans for a new splash pad and playground area, along with construction of a new basketball court. Now, the park's expected to be finished up sometime next spring, but like we say, closed while that construction continues for safety. And what will replace the old Wesselman Par 3 golf course in Evansville? Wesselman Nature Society is working to answer that question. They're working alongside the city to come up with a plan so this land can be enjoyed by more people. There's no concrete plan or timeline in place for this project yet, but the golf course, which has been closed for nearly a year, may become part of the nature preserve. The Parks and Recreation Department is also trying to raise money to repurpose the former Roberts Stadium property as well. So 2 places that are in the middle of planning.
Sunshine right now. It's going to be the first day of fall here in a matter of seconds. I'll be back to tell you more about that and the forecast for the rest of the week coming up.
Get the highest rated local weather app from the App Store today. Now, from your weather authority, meteorologist Ron Rhodes.
11 minutes until the start of fall. Yes, we've got at 8:20. It's 8:31. That is the autumnal equinox. That is the exact moment when the direct rays of the sun are right there on the equator. Equal days, equal nights. But we're not going to be seeing equal day, equal night for at least a couple of days here in the Evansville area. We've got a little bit more daylight than nighttime, at least for a little while longer. So I'm not complaining about that. Hey, check it out, though. It's the autumnal equinox, and we've got the broom standing on its head. Look at this. Ta-da! In all its glory, the magic broom. And now, if somebody could get an egg, a picture of an egg standing it on its end, I'd love it. That'd be fantastic. Let's take a look outside. We had a fantastic sunrise. If you missed it, that's okay. I've got a picture. I've got plenty of pictures to show you throughout the morning, and I will do that. I've been doing it. It's our Zemer Funeral Home camera. We've swung it around to look toward the river on the west side of town. Pretty cool shot right there from Fifth Third Bank. And as we take a look at the traffic, not a lot of it out there right now. I think a lot of people have gotten to where they need to go, whether it's to work, to school, or wherever. You've got a look from Deaconess Gateway out toward Lloyd Expressway and I-69. And our backyard heads construction camera checking out Highway 41 in all its glory in downtown Evansville in the distance. 57 degrees up north at the airport, and it's a dew point of 52. So nice and low on both the temperature and the dew point. The temperature's up 4 degrees this hour. It is going to be in the mid-70s for a high. You may notice we've got a few extra clouds in play today, and we are going to see that. Right now, mainly high clouds. Sunshine's having no trouble peering through it. Saw a really cool looking sundog. Sometimes you get these high, thin clouds. They're basically made of ice crystals, and they refract the light of the sun at a certain level. You will see some sundogs out there, or mock suns. Wind's not going to be a big deal today, mainly from the east this morning, mainly from the south this afternoon. It's going to vary a little bit, 5 to 10, but closer to 5. As we take a look at the temperatures, a lot of 55s up to the north. Flora, Vincennes, and Lagodi, as well as Carmi, all checking in with 55 degrees, and we got a lot of 55s to the south. It is 55 in Dixon, Owensboro, Fordsville, Beaver Dam, and Morgantown. Wow. And Princeton too. So you got a lot of 55s on the board. Visibility wise, this will be the last time I show this map. We did have a little bit of fog around Carmi, not the case now. Beautiful start to the day. This is from Ryan Farmer on Wrights Hill, where he got this beautiful shot of the rising sun, the last sunrise of summer. And a good looking shot. That's always a pretty good angle to see that sunrise too, up on top of the hill there, as you get a good view of the east. Live first warning Doppler radar is showing us nada. Another dry day. At least it's going to be dry to start. And we're going to be seeing, well, we're not going to see any rain during the day today. The week has been dry to start, but we're going to be seeing some rain before this week is done, it looks like. Best chance, though, won't come until Sunday, but we do have a slight chance on Thursday. We are noticing clouds, though, moving in. Got an upper low down to our southwest, and the clouds, yes, the rain, no, at least not yet. We are going to get some from that late tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Farther on down to the south, we're getting plenty of rain in Texas. This is Tropical Storm Beta. Last check, still a minimal tropical storm, packing 40-mile-per-hour winds. It's a pretty big rainmaker for southeast Texas, Houston in particular, and it's going to work its way back through the Houston area. The center is down to the southwest of Houston, but you can see the feeder bands coming off that, the Gulf of Mexico, just running right through Houston. And again, we've got the track of this tropical storm, which is going to weaken and become a tropical depression here fairly soon as it works its way up the Texas coast. And then basically, it's just going to be an extra tropical low as it moves its way into Mississippi. But that's not until Thursday that we actually see the center of the storm doing that. So most of that rain is going to stay well to our south. It'll kick a few clouds up our way, though. We should get some rain, though, courtesy of what's left of Beta, and that won't be until the weekend. Just a slight chance on Saturday, a little bit better chance, though, for our Sunday. The center of the storm is going to stay to our south. It looks like that's where the thunderstorms are going to stay, too. So we're just going to get some rain. It looks like some scattered showers out there, and again, mainly on Sunday. Here's what it looks like on Future Tracker today. Had a little bit of fog out there earlier. Got some clouds kind of rolling in from the west, but not a drop of rain is expected. Here's my forecast for today with that mix of sun and clouds out and about. High temperature is going to be in the mid-70s, a little bit cooler than yesterday because a little less sunshine, at least direct sunshine than yesterday. And then temperatures will slowly warm back up to around 80 degrees by Friday. There's that slight chance of rain on Thursday. A chance for rain both days over the weekend. The better of the 2 days for rain is going to be on Sunday. Highs both days right around 80 degrees. News headlines next.
This is an Eyewitness News Update.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here for this update on ABC 25 and the CW7. Evansville police this morning are now investigating a carjacking that happened just a few hours ago. Officers say this happened just after 2 a.m. today. They tell us the victim was at the Marathon on Southeast 8th Street whenever she approached a man approached her with a gun, who then took off in her car. We're told the victim was not hurt, and so far police have not been able to track down the vehicle or a suspect. Anyone who may have witnessed this is being urged to call police today. We'll continue to watch for updates throughout the morning.
And autopsies are scheduled for this afternoon on the 3 people killed in yesterday's fiery crash in Evansville. This was the scene at Highway 41 and Covert Avenue. Evansville police say a pickup truck driving very fast crashed into the back of an SUV, which was either stopped or slowed for traffic. That impact sent the SUV into another vehicle in front of it. The SUV and pickup then both caught on fire. Witnesses were able to rescue the truck driver, but the flames were too intense to help those inside the SUV. The victims' names have not yet been identified or released. The truck driver is expected to survive.
8:28 on this Tuesday morning. In a matter of minutes, it is going to be the autumnal equinox. So autumn begins today, and we say goodbye to summer officially. 57 degrees right now in Evansville, 55 in Owensboro. Already felt like fall for the past several mornings, though. It's another cool one this morning, too. 53 in Jasper, 55 in Carmi, where they did have a little bit of fog. The fog is gone now. Got a few clouds moving in, mixing in with the sun. A lot of these high clouds staying dry, though, and a high temperature in the mid-70s. Over the next 7 days, temperatures will be warming over the next several days. In fact, we'll be up around 80 degrees by Friday, and slight chance of rain on Thursday from an upper level low. But then we've got the remnants of beta moving our way for the weekend, and a pretty good chance of rain on Sunday.
The most watched, the most trusted. Eyewitness News, everywhere you are. Time now for your forecast first on Eyewitness News, the CW7.
It's 8:31. It's now official. Everybody, it is now fall. We've got leaves. Yes, indeed. That's okay. I can sweep it up. I've got a broom over there. So it's standing on its end by itself because it's the autumnal equinox. all these things all at one time. We had that burst of fall. Wasn't quite like New Year's though, guys. Sorry, we got to up it a little bit next time. Let's bring our A game next time. I'm just kidding. It was good. Anyway, temperature-wise, 57 degrees. So we look down upon the strip in Henderson. We're going to be seeing the temperature rise to a high in the mid-70s later on today. A good dose of sunshine, but a little less of a dose than what we've seen over the past several days. How's it looking for the rest of the week? The first few days of fall. I'll let you know about that coming up in a few minutes.
Live from the CW7 studio, this is Daybreak Extra.
Morning.
Good morning.
First morning of the fall.
Scooch, you were almost out of frame. There you go.
It's better that way.
It's not.
I should talk like this right here.
We both will. Hello. How much do you want to bet that the leaves that Ron just so gleefully tossed into the air came from the parking lot?
If I'm a betting person, if I were a betting person, I'd say there's a 9.9% chance that's the case.
I agree.
I will give that 0.1%, and this is all I'm going to give, is 0.1% that Ron actually woke up this morning and thought, I've got to go to the front lawn and get some leaves for 8:31 this morning.
No, he doesn't think that far ahead. Yeah, he has no time for that.
He said he has no time for that.
He's too busy brewing getting his pumpkin tea ready.
He does a pumpkin spice tea over there.
Yes, he does.
You would think the Weather Center is slowly becoming a tea store.
A tea shop.
Like, I'm just waiting for Ron to start taking, like, hey, Joe, the radar computer, can we get that out of here? I need more room for my tea. Hey, Joe, can we get that backup weather computer out of here? I need more room for my tea.
Maybe. You know, I just had a thought.
Oh, no.
Perhaps as we move into the fall season, you should sprinkle throughout your cooking segments some pumpkin recipes, something that involves pumpkin.
Man, I have never cooked with pumpkin before.
Well, here we go. So it's the first time for everything.
Well, I'm going to bring in a pumpkin.
Okay.
And I'll put it on top of my burner, and I'll put chili inside it. Pumpkin chili.
Delicious.
Oh, yeah. I won't take the seeds or anything out of it either. And then we'll carve it.
Yeah, you can do that. I'll watch. All right, coming up on today's show, we are talking about the latest headlines for you. The Louisville Police Department preparing for the announcement in the Breonna Taylor case. A lot of prep work going there. We've got the latest details, what's happening in Louisville.
The CDC is facing backlash after posting and then retracting their stance on how the coronavirus spreads through the air. And another edition of Tasty Tuesday, all that and more in this half hour. First, here's Jake.
Yeah, Joe, if you were a betting man, none of us are betting men out here. We don't do that. Thanks. Welcome back this morning. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you keeping up with us. These headlines at 8:34 a.m. Louisville, Kentucky police, as Joe and Gretchen mentioned, they're canceling vacations and requests for days off, preparing for an announcement on whether charges will be filed now against police officers in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor. Now, some businesses in the downtown area were boarding up windows late last night. LMPD officials are saying that time off requests are being canceled, quote, until further notice. Taylor was shot back by police on March 13th. Officers were carrying out a narcotics warrant. No drugs were found in her home. Attorney General Daniel Cameron's office has given no timetable for when an announcement is going to be made. Earlier this morning, the LMPD announced plans regarding traffic. When the announcement does come down, some more is coming out. There will be concrete barriers in place at specific points of the city along an emergency route outlined in red on the diagram we've got here on the screen, all in efforts to maintain safety for anyone in the area. So that new information coming from Louisville Police today of where they plan to put barriers at. A lot of things happening in that city, plans taking place really any day now. That decision from a grand jury could come out, but right now no timetable specifically given. North of us in Wisconsin, the state's attorney general has now selected a former Madison police chief to serve as an independent consultant for prosecutors in the case of Jacob Blake. Noble Ray is the one selected now for this review, and he'll help prosecutors determine whether to file charges against the officer who shot Blake multiple times, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down. Ray has become a national leader in working on police reform and educating implicit bias about that since his retirement as chief of the capital city of Wisconsin's police force in 2013. The shooting of Blake took place back in August and made Wisconsin the epicenter of the nation's ongoing debate about police violence and racial injustice. And there's an update to a story we told you about here yesterday at this hour. A man police say is connected to a shooting in Ohio that killed a young boy and injured 4 others has turned himself in. This happened late last night as police say the suspect shot 4 adults and the boy at a home early Monday morning. During a news conference, authorities say that one of the men was shot twice and is in critical condition. The other man, who was shot in the back twice, is close to critical condition, we've been told. The women are in stable condition. This information is still coming out of Ohio today. And a local leader is pleading with people to follow COVID-19 prevention guidelines as we move to coverage of the virus. Union County Judge Executive Adam Onan has confirmed 4 new cases of COVID-19 coming in on Monday, including 2 at Morganfield Nursing and Rehab, 1 staff member and 1 resident. 30 residents and 19 staff members tested positive there last week. The judge executive says he'd like to see people social distance and treat things like they did when the virus first hit.
We are the #1 county in the state of Kentucky as far as positivity. Now, there's lots of things that I brag about when I go to Frankfort. We're #1 in corn production. We're #1 in wrestling. We're #1 in coal. This is not one of those things that we want to have the title of.
More than half of people who've contracted COVID in Union County have recovered, but right now 102 cases remain active there this morning. Let's look at case numbers in the tri-state right now. Vanderburgh County added 42 new cases on Monday and sadly 1 new death, bringing the death toll in Vanderburgh County to 30. And just to the east in Warwick County, 2 new deaths were reported on Monday, along with 65 new cases. DuBois County added 24 new cases. Hopkins County added 17 new cases on Monday. Davis, Henderson, and Muhlenberg counties all confirmed 14 new cases each. You can see all of them in double digits surrounding McLean County, which has 0 new cases to start the week. In southern Illinois, Wabash and White counties confirmed 4 new cases each. Wayne County has 2 new cases. To keep up with where you live, you can always go to tristatehomepage.com. We've got this map along with a lot more information, including recovery rates and hospitalization rates. Well, the CDC has now stirred up a bit of confusion once again after posting and then taking down an apparent change in its position on how easily the virus can spread from person to person through the air. The CDC says the posting was an error, but that incident's left many throughout the nation scratching their heads as to what they're supposed to believe. Reporter Brian Inton shows us more on this story.
A mistake by the Centers for Disease Control has led to confusion about just how far droplets in the air containing COVID-19 can travel. Over the weekend, the CDC website was updated and said there is growing evidence that droplets and airborne particles can remain suspended in the air and be breathed in by others and travel distances beyond 6 feet. For example, during choir practice in restaurants or in fitness classes. But on Monday, that section of the website was removed, and the CDC said a draft version of proposed changes to these recommendations was posted in error to the agency's official website. CDC is currently updating its recommendations regarding airborne transmission.
This is one more example of unclear and inconsistent information that's being provided by the Centers for Disease Control.
One thing that scientists say is not unclear is whether droplets carrying COVID-19 can in fact travel farther than 6 feet. Professors at Florida Atlantic University have been using this dummy to study the spread of the coronavirus for months. They say a heavy cough can send droplets as far as 12 feet.
These aerosolized droplets, which don't fall to the ground very quickly, they can linger in air for hours.
But look what happens when someone coughs with a mask on. The droplets only travel a couple of inches. And when someone coughs with a face shield, it also contains the droplets. Scientists say an outdoor breeze or a fan inside can also make a huge difference.
Inside the room, these smallest droplets are basically at the mercy of what the background airflow looks like. And that's mainly affected by the air conditioning in the room.
All right, thank you for that story, and thank you, Jake, for the latest headlines of what we're tracking here this morning. So, have you given any more thought to what are we making tomorrow? Give me a hint. What are you making tomorrow? Oh, okay.
But not just like your regular, everyday kind of soup. Mm-hmm. It's going to be something special.
Is it fancy?
I'd go pretty fancy.
Okay.
I got to pick up some fresh ingredients at the store today because it has fresh stuff in it.
Nice. Well, it is the kind of beginning of soup season.
And I've got a new Dutch oven and pot thing to show off as well.
Wow, where'd you get that?
And a burner. Friends of mine, they love watching Tasty Tuesday in Joe's Kitchen.
Nice.
They love to cook, and so they're like, hey, here you go.
Cool.
Have at it. It's like, cool, thanks, guys.
Always nice to show off new kitchen equipment.
Becky and Jim Johnson.
That's what I figured. We'll be right back.
Daybreak Extra continues.
Rockhouse on the river in Henderson has a great view of the Ohio and pizza that has won an award 2 years in a row, but I consider all the food award winning though. We're wrapping things up here at Rockhouse on the River, downtown Henderson, is where you're going to find some award-winning pizza that we had earlier. And you called this a stromboli, Christy.
Yes.
I've never seen a stromboli like this.
Yeah.
What's so different here? What are you doing?
Well, so sometimes when people hear the word stromboli, they think of something on like a hoagie bun.
That's exactly right,
yeah,
yes.
But our stromboli is actually made with our dough, our homemade dough that we make in-house. And if you talk to anyone in Henderson and they hear the word Rockhouse, they're going to say stromboli. This is what we are known for. This is, look at that cheese. That's pretty amazing.
I might get this straightened away by the time we're done recording.
Exactly. So our stromboli is it's just kind of a staple for Rockhouse. This is really what we're known for. A lot of people come in for those strombolis. This is our regular stromboli. It's our most popular. It's got a little bit of meat and vegetables. It's got the pepperoni, sausage, green pepper, onion, and mushrooms. But we make different types like all meat, the buffalo chicken, and a really popular one is our chicken bacon ranch.
Oh, you can't go wrong with a CBR.
Yeah, it's really, really good. But, you know, it's topped with some of these Italian spices. And, you know, a lot of people eat them like a sandwich. But as you can see, it's a pretty large helping of food at not a whole lot of money. So it's very economical. And we sell a lot of them.
No, if I come in and order stromboli, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, if you ordered the regular stromboli, yeah, it's a 12-inch. They're all the standard size 12-inch strombolis. They're closed and braided with the dough and topped with some garlic butter and Italian spices. So and the bread the dough is fantastic.
It is because it's so crispy. Because like you said, usually when you think of stromboli, it's a hoagie bun, and I mean it's soft, it's fresh, baked and everything. This is very crispy.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, especially fresh out of the oven when you're doing a dine-in on your stromboli, it's going to crisp up really well. And again, they're very filling. They're very, very good.
Yes, they are. It's a meal for two. Really, it's a meal for two. You're going to have outdoor patio seating, you said, soon.
Yes, yeah. So we are going to start construction in the next month or so and put about 60 seats outside. So whenever we have the downtown festivals come back to Henderson, we're just going to have a lot of outdoor seating for our the outdoor for this perfect view.
Well, it is a great view. It really is. I mean, the Ohio River right there, the splash park, good food, and you get a good view and an air-conditioned building on top of that. Rockhouse on the river, downtown Henderson. Boy, is it good.